Live from Basement Boulevard at Rockbound Avenue. This is Cellar County with Butch and Coffee. And folks were prematurely ejaculating, prematurely celebrating the NFL draft.
That's how you want to lead off. Just like, yes. As of right now, we're taping this at like 11 o'clock my time, midnight his time. But in about 12 hours,
We're literally 24 hours away from Trevor Lawrence being summoned down to the hell that is northern Florida.
It could be worse.
Yes.
It could be worse. He could be in New York or wherever the hell the Meadowlands is.
New Jersey, my friend, it's in the disgusting state that is New Jersey. But enough about the draft. We got a loaded baked potato tonight.
Yes. We have 2 weeks worth of stuff to catch up on. Let's talk about the biggest fucking disaster to come out this past week. Yes, folks, I'm talking about the European Super League.
Ah, yes. The one sport that everyone but America cares about, apparently.
Yes. Well, I guarantee you if America was actually good at soccer, they would actually care.
Yeah, but we really don't.
Actually, we do. We actually from the women's side are actually really good. It's just no one actually, unfortunately, no one pays attention to them because the men are such dog shit.
But let's talk about this Super League and the chaos that ensued.
What the hell? Who thought this was a good idea? Who?
Apparently, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man U, Man City, and Tottenham all did, and they all jumped off
because they realized how much of a shitty idea this actually was.
As fast as the AAF folded up, Super League told everyone in the world to hold my drink.
Oh my god! You know what the stupid thing about the Super League is? Go through the list of team names again. Why don't you run through this whole list again, Butch?
Just the teams I've seen that dropped out, the notable ones. Arsenal.
No. Let's start with the ones that were originally. Let's start with the original 20.
I thought it was only 12.
Well, the 12 that were announced, it was supposed to go to 20. Let's start with the 12 that were supposed to take part.
Give me a second. I gotta make sure I have all the names here, and I want to make sure these are all correct.
All right. So
okay. So the six I said. So we had Totem, Man U, Man City. That's 3. Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. That's 6. Real Madrid would be in there. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, AC Milan, and Inter Milan. Yep, that's all 12. So some very, very notable teams. And let's be honest, it was probably some of the most well-known teams in Europe, if not the entire world.
It's literally the one thing that was good about this on paper is that you actually did get the best teams. But wait, isn't there already a tournament where all the best teams supposedly play in? Isn't there one going on right now that they were supposed to be playing in? Yes, the UEFA Champions League. This was supposed to be the answer to the problem with the Champions League. And I say problem because the Champions League itself has problems, but the Super League was not the solution. This was not the solution.
Right.
This is the
I don't want to sound like an asshole here, but
please, for all intents and purposes, please be that asshole.
I don't want to make a Brexit joke, but it's kind of what you got.
This is my god. Oh my god. This whole thing is a fucking disaster and a half.
It's a shit show.
If you think our podcast is a shit show, this is an even bigger shit show.
Also, I love how Stan Kroenke was somehow brought into the mix with Arsenal. Yes, the biggest asshole owner from St. Louis owns Arsenal, and I love seeing all the fans protest saying, fuck Stan Kroenke.
Didn't the CEO for Spotify say he was going to try to buy Arsenal at one point?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I don't know what's worse.
Arsenal is only worth 2, and he was offering 4. Think about that, my friend. Double the value that this big mega piece of shit would get. Unfortunately, folks, the Super League sounded
It
really,
only
really
lasted
interesting.
72 hours before it crashed and burned. And okay, so let me pull up the list of teams that pulled out so far. I know all the EPL teams pulled out.
Pretty much everyone. This league, I mean, it sounds like everyone pretty much pulled out.
I mean, the only
Phrasing.
one. Yeah, I was gonna say the only one who's. Oh my god. Oh man, yeah. The only one who so basically everyone's saying that this is a bad idea, you shouldn't do this, all that stuff. Let's take a moment to think let's take a moment to look at this from let's come up with something to rival the Champions League. This was
SEC. It's basically like the SEC, the superpower team. Not all the teams with the Super League are superpowers teams.
No, and that's it was actually an issue I will get to in a second. But first, let me talk about the primary issue that I've noticed in this. So, as you know, the whole pandemic basically killed a majority of the football season for a lot of the lower league teams. Even some of the teams that just got promoted to the top division in their league are struggling because of this.
What's sad to me, let me ask you this. Is this kind of like minor league baseball where some of these smaller teams ended up
hell, I would, yeah, yes and no.
Or was it like, okay, we're going to have to suspend operations. You guys are not going to cease to exist, but you guys aren't going to be playing next year.
Yeah, that's
makes more sense.
Yeah. All right.
Or what happened? Okay.
All right. I would put it more like this. This is the equivalent of a combination of not just minor league baseball in general, but like every league that's not let's use the U.S. example. Let's say there's other football leagues in the U.S., right? They're not as big, but they exist. Mm-hmm. They're probably dead. Those leagues are probably dead.
Now, UEFA is set to approve something.
Yes.
And this was kind of what came out of the ashes.
Before we go to that, I do want to point out something else. We're still in the Super League, but here's something else that a lot of people criticize them for, but from where we're from, this doesn't seem like okay, how to put it this? Let me put it this way. What they basically proposed to a degree is that if they ran the full Super League, it'd be 20 teams. It'd be 15 teams guaranteed, plus 5 people that can join in at a later date.
Yeah.
Now, they can qualify based on our performance. You know what that sounds like to me if you just take the 15 and let them play? It sounds like a closed league.
Pretty much.
Where have we seen that before? Butch, where have we seen that before?
I wonder. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I think you're at the pride out of my mouth.
Yes. What I just described is, and excuse my volume, people, but I just described every sports league in the United States. The NBA, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, the MLS. It's all a closed system.
I can imagine the Super League, like the metaphor would be like them being on a boat coming to America and seeing the Statue of Liberty is like, oh, well, I guess we're at the first ones, but here we are at the party.
Yes, this entire thing, I know a lot of people have criticized them, but to me, I find it kind of hypocritical to an extent because we criticize them like, why would you branch off these teams and keep it a closed system where no one can join in? I look at the U.S. And I'm like,
as an American, I generally don't care about soccer, but as a fan of seeing things crumble and burn, this was just beautiful. It was cringy. It was fun to watch.
It's
still getting beaten.
It's the worst of the worst. This is pure, and I'm just quoting what some people say. This is pure elitism. It's like, yeah, we're going to take all these teams and make all these matchups, and we get all the money. Who gives
No
a shit about
offense.
these other teams? Who gives a shit about these other teams? We get the money.
No offense, but I think we spent enough time. Let's just wrap up what the UEFA has announced in response to the failure of the Super
They
League.
actually announced it around the same time. I have one more thing I want to say. So everyone is basically said, oh shit, this is a bad idea. We should probably pull out. There is one person who's still hellbound on making this happen. Florentino Perez. The chairman of the Super League and, surprise, surprise, the president of Real Madrid.
Oh boy.
This ain't
going anywhere.
He is hell bent.
This isn't going anywhere.
He is hell bent on making this happen. And after a certain point, you gotta realize, dude, get over it. It's not gonna happen. Well, it's there's gonna be another issue like this. There's gonna be another attempt to make a league like this. Because let's face it, there's gonna be UEFA has so many problems, but their solution was. I have several questions on their solution. Butch, tell me the solution they proposed.
I don't want to. Oh, you're really gonna.
All right, short version. They approved an expansion to the Champions League format. So it's gonna be 36 teams now.
All right. Enough soccer.
I have so many questions.
I mean, they're ahead of the curve when it comes to the CB. The college football.
Oh my god.
This
is exactly what I thought about too. Speaking of college football, I heard a small announcement. I would say it's announced a small piece of news. Apparently, there is the CFP subcommittee has presented expansion ideas to get as many as 16 teams into the college football playoff.
Yes, the same week Mark Everett gets extended. 16 teams.
Oh, I had something that gave me hope, and you just killed all that hope right there.
16 teams is too much. It should be 8.
No, I feel like some of these bowl games are so useless that if you just convert them to college football playoff games, no one's going to care. It's actually better for these bowl games.
Yeah, but you don't want to take away Marshall beating up on Bowling Green or Colorado State playing Duke.
No, certain matchups can still go on. Certain matchups can still go on if there's a historical press. Like you always got to do the Army-Navy game. There's no way around that. You always got to do that.
But don't you want to see UAF go up against San Diego State and who gives a shit?
If I want to see UAF throw up 400 yards against a no-name team, I would play NCAA football. Point is, I'm excited about this. I'm excited about the possibility of expansion. I'll be satisfied with 8 because we need more than 4 teams.
Absolutely, we need more than 4. We need to fill up our palettes of football because we honestly
football
don't
that actually
enough.
Means something.
And there we go.
Yes, we need football that means something. We need
Speaking
college
of
football
mean
games
something,
that mean something.
Certain Dickface McWannabe fought again.
He fought
won.
and won. And let me say this, folks. I saw the fight. He won. Somebody has to pay for this now. I will see everyone at my parole hearing.
And speaking of Paul, another Paul is fighting a certain Mayweather.
I hope Mayweather
in Miami.
Okay, I don't like Mayweather.
You got a venue at Hard Rock Stadium.
And the best thing about all this, supposedly, it's gonna be on pay-per-view for $50. Yes, $50 to see See,
Manslaughter.
I would say a guy who could be charged with manslaughter versus the biggest douchebag in the universe. Even I hate this guy more than I hate Mark Aaron. I hate this guy more than I hate
No.
LeVar Ball.
It's
I hate this guy.
Wait. Everyone's least favorite YouTuber versus the most illiterate athlete in all of sports.
It's the most hated YouTuber of all time. Well, I don't know. EDP may join the bunch.
Oh my god.
All right, but one of the most hated YouTubers of all time versus one of the most controversial boxers of all time. You know what? I typically pray for Mayweather to lose, but for this one, I hope he fucking kills the guy. Okay, not kill the guy and want him down. I hope he goes in. I hope he does what he does to McGregor. Just like let him tire out. It's like
bar across the streets. And I will realistically watch this bloody massacre of the Irishman.
Okay, all right.
I don't want to say this because my girlfriend's in the room, but damn, I had a really good joke that I can't say in front of her.
All right,
I will not.
I know exactly where you're going with this joke too, so yeah, please don't say it. But I will say this, Mayweather, I don't like you. You don't know who I am. But I'm praying you do what you did to McGregor. Let him tire himself out, and then the 6th and 7th round, boom, knock him
break some of that Grand Rapids pride all over the LA wannabe.
Either you ruin his face, or I will riot.
Oh God!
Speaking of riots,
all right, I guess we're gonna keep going with what you want to go. Go ahead. Where are we going?
No, I actually just want to say speaking of riots because I actually thought you had something for this. No, let's.
Jesus!
All right, what'd you have next?
I mean, there's so many routes we could go. We could talk about the NFL drafts. We could talk about the verdict last week.
Oh yes, okay. Let's talk about the verdict in terms of the sports world. Yes.
So the thing that transcends sports, the thing that pretty much upended the whole sports world last year,
outside the pandemic.
The verdict of George Floyd's death.
Guilty on all 3 counts. All 3.
I wasn't shocked by the ruling. I was shocked by the fact that he was found guilty on all 3. It's usually the rare cases where they drop one of the charges or he's found not guilty of one, but all across the board.
This was the absolute best case scenario, and we got it.
Now, you and me are on different lines in terms of where we view things and whatnot, but we can pretty much agree this was pretty sound and just, and it was the right outcome.
To me, he had to be guilty of something because I would say he was guilty on the biggest charge. Everything else was just because let's say he was hypothetically innocent on all 3. Do you understand the possible riots and the damage it could do?
I'm not going to say
the
possible riot. I would say the entire city of Minneapolis would burn to the ground.
Yes.
They found him innocent.
The NBA could possibly literally just say, okay, we're not playing. We're done. We're done for a week.
Now, the verdict...
Because they've done it before. They stopped it for one night.
This comes with controversy, but not with the ruling. 45 minutes before the verdict, an unfortunate incident happened in Columbus involving an officer and a knife-wielding teenager. The shooting has been called out. It is being reviewed. And you and me could kind of agree with that one. It was justified because the woman, the teenager, had a knife and she was wielding it.
And she was attacking others prior to the shooting.
But you might question, why is this relevant to the George Floyd verdict?
Well,
one of our favorite, quote-unquote, favorite superstars just happened to tweet something.
Yes.
And what he tweeted was, I don't know if you consider this disgusting, but to me, it was pretty gut-wrenching. You're next. With the officer's face. It was not blurred, correct?
I will be honest. Every instance I saw the tweet, it would just show the text, but it wouldn't show the photo. So I didn't know what photo he actually posted.
It said you're next. or on the lines of, I guess he's going to be held accountable.
Yes, accountability was like the big word everyone was saying. The thing with
I like the
LeBron,
tweet got deleted
it
immediately
got
after.
immediately once the knife story came out. Once the knife story came out, LeBron James delete this tweet. Let me just go on a small thing about LeBron James' Twitter history, and not only just his Twitter history, but both his response to a lot of these incidents is both awe-inspiring and just completely staggering. The
Now,
bigger issue is not the tweet; it's everyone
I'm going to
else's
say
reaction to the tweet.
it was pretty sound, just like with the LA Raiders tweet after the verdict.
Oh God, that was
bad.
I will say this because because all this ties in with another small story. The WNBA had a jersey they were going to release. The only problem is that, as it turns out,
It was a unique way of honoring the WASP, or the Women's Air Force Service pilots of the 1940s.
Except,
But what
they
they didn't realize at the time was the program had excluded African American women.
Right. This is something I'll say to both LeBron James, the LA Raiders, and the WNBA. Who do you have checking this? You literally okay, in LeBron's case, it's one person. That's fine. It's just him. You can argue that maybe he does not have the common sense to realize maybe it's a bad idea. But compared to the Raiders and the WNBA, this had to go through multiple people before they made the announcement or the tweet. And no one thought maybe this is a wrong thing to say. Maybe we shouldn't put this.
It upset me that Chucky, aka Mark Davis, didn't want to take down the tweet. He wanted to keep it up in protest.
Oh my God! It's so.
And then the wings thing. Look, as a pilot, it's cool to see them. It's cool to see them honor this group at the same time with the history and whatnot being controversial. They had to pull the new uniform because, let's be honest, everything's PC these days. We live in a day and age where we pretty much have to double check everything. We pretty much have to go over our P's and Q's.
Yes, I do agree with that. I wouldn't say this is like a PC thing. This is just more common sense. It's like, should I not post this racist thing? No, let me do this anyway. Or you know what this is comparable to? And I know you don't care about wrestling. This is like when WWE to name because WWE at WrestleMania, they have this big battle royale called the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. And they decided for the women's side, we're going to name it the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale. Only one problem. When you look at the history of the Fabulous Moolah, you realized, oh shit, she's a horrible person. Maybe we should. It got to the point where Snickers wanted to pull out of WrestleMania. And WWE's like, no, don't pull out. We'll rename it.
Oh my God, you almost remind me of the Mandalorian chick.
Oh my
God. No, we don't want Baby Yoda associated with the racist.
Oh my
God. No, not Baby Yoda.
The point is, after all, outside the reaction of LeBron's tweet, why does no one double check themselves and think, maybe I shouldn't do this? Maybe actually wait for something to develop. Maybe I should wait to see if this is a good thing.
Here's what LeBron saw. He saw what he thought was another unjust shooting when the biggest thing to take out of all this is let the details play out.
Yes.
Let the details come forward, because there's always a damning piece or two that offers a different perspective and look. Unfortunately, LeBron did not have that opportunity.
He was just trigger. I would say he was trigger happy. He saw, not in terms of the shooting, it was more the fact that, hey, another black girl was just shot by a cop. I gotta say something.
And also we happened to have I was going to say a trolling incident, and then I'm going to respond back with a bar that said in response to LeBron's tweet, they weren't going to show any more NBA games, in which LeBron jokingly said, oh, well, too bad. I guess I was going to go over there earlier, but Not anymore.
Let's be fair though. Let's be fair though. One, this guy's this. You and I may be on different sides, but this guy, let's just say he's a. I'm just gonna say it. This guy would rather. I wasn't gonna say he's dick. Those were your words. I was gonna say if this guy would rather make his patrons suffer by watching shitty Cavaliers basketball instead of watching semi-decent Lakers basketball, then fine, let the people suffer.
You know what? Yeah, plus there's really not much to really see down in Southern Ohio.
There's only one good thing in Southern Ohio. There's only one good thing in Ohio right now, and that's surprisingly the Browns.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Joe Burrow's ACL.
Oh. I was actually going to make a joke about the Cleveland baseball team, but
Oh my God! No!
Because you know why I say you know why I say
you call them the Indian. You call them the Indians. No, you call them that until I change their name officially. No,
I will call whatever the fuck I want. Because guess what? Some people in Cleveland can say where the hell they want. Because the Miz has said that the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. The Browns winning Super Bowl. Antonio Brown is probably going to sign another year in Tampa. Tom Brady.
He did sign another year.
God,
in Tampa today.
I quit now.
1 year, $6.5 billion.
I quit.
1 year, 6.5.
So Brady's going to get another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say another Super Bowl, but it's...
Look, let's say he's down there like 3 or 4 more years. He's got one more. He's going to win one more. Let's just...
We'll see what happens. As for the Indians, I think it would be grand if they won the World Series this year and they dropped their name afterwards.
You know what? If Cleveland does win the World Series this year, I actually would give them a pat on the back saying, hey, you broke it. You broke it.
Speaking of broken, or at least being beat up in a good way, Fernando Tatis Jr.
This guy This guy is the fucking best thing to happen to baseball.
I was making fun of him at first because of his average, but goddamn dude,
this guy is insane. This guy is the biggest superstar in baseball since Mike Trout and Bryce Harper. And it's someone that everyone can rally behind regardless of whether or not you like the Padres or not. Everyone can get behind this guy. There's a reason he was on the cover of the show, because everyone loves him. And surprisingly, the show curse has not affected him yet.
Not yet. Not yet, but number 23 for the Padres will hopefully be the superstar to get this team its long-awaited World Series.
If you could just make the World Series in general, I would cheer for you.
They've only had one game won. They got swept in 98, and they took one game away from the Tigers. But otherwise than that, their organization has just been ridiculed in failure.
Of all the teams in California, this team has been mocked, ridiculed.
Outside the Clippers, the Padres.
I was staying in the realm of baseball, but yeah, let's throw Clippers on that list too.
Well, I was going to say the Clippers because they originally began their team in the lovely city of San Diego. That's why I thought you were talking about like steak bitten, and I'm like, oh, okay, you're making a Clippers joke. I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, you see exactly what I'm trying. Okay, so I'm
happy for him.
I want to see how far. I want to see how far he can. I want to see how far he can go.
Did you see Bryce Harper got hit in the face?
No, I did not. No, let me pull that up.
He got drilled by a 96-mile-an-hour fastball right in the face, and I just watched it live. And he walked away from it, but you could definitely see the cut on his face. Go on ESPN; it shows it.
I'm watching it right. Oh, damn! Yeah, that's.
Yeah, we see it go down like for Stanton a couple of years ago in Milwaukee. It wasn't scary like that.
Oh
I mean, at
yeah,
least he was able to walk off on his own accord,
yeah.
but damn, it's
It,
still scary as fuck.
it's scary. Like I know, even if you wear all that protection, you're still getting hit by a ball that's moving probably faster than. I think
Are we gonna have to have it mandatory for them to wear like a face guard to ensure that this doesn't
no,
happen again?
no, no, not in the MLB. I will never think in the MLB will. Well, the thing is, the closest I think we came to seeing that is when we had the rash of when we had a rash of pitchers getting line drives hit right back at them. I think that was the closest we ever thought they're gonna take the softball approach and have them wear masks. But I don't think
It's
at the highest level of baseball, I don't ever see that happening.
it's scary that this
That
happens, but
they had
you can't control it.
I think they at one point had a concept of a hat they could wear that has padding, but no one wanted to wear it. If anything, I think I like the helmet design idea where they have that little extra strap that goes further down to their chin line. I do like that, but I think that's as far as they're gonna get.
And afterwards, another batter was hit. If you're reading the story, which led to Joe Girardi getting ejected for arguing. Now we talk about ejections and we talk about MLB umpires getting
Oh
finger
my
happy.
god! Oh my god! Angel Hernandez is still one of the freaking worst umps in baseball. Let's just throw that out there.
A tale as old as the Old Testament.
I love how you were gonna say the other B word, but then you just specified Old Testament.
Yeah.
But yes, MLB umps are getting kind of trigger happy to an extent. But when you look at some of the calls they completely blow, as a manager, you remember the classics where managers. Well, I remember all the times Lou Piniella would just run out there and just start screaming.
What, kick his hat, jumping around.
I'm gonna look up like some of his best tantrums right now.
There was 198 where he kicked the hat around a couple of different times. He had a couple meltdowns with the Cubs. I think he had a meltdown too when he was with the Devil Rays, and definitely a notable one or two in Seattle. But jeez.
Okay,
umpires.
who was the one ump? I mean, the one manager who got so angry he started yanking the bases off the ground.
That was a minor league manager. Hold on. I'll find it. Give me 1 second. No, that was not it. Was it Florida? No, it wasn't Kyle Skipsworth. No.
No. Okay.
Give me 1 second. Philip Wellman's, I think is what it was.
Well,
was it Philip Wellman? Hold on, I'll find this.
Yes. Okay. So, anyway, I know that the MLB now has rules about.
Yep, Philip Wellman of the Mississippi Braves was ejected in 2007. Yeah, where he had the grenade, where he had the he treated what's the bag? What's the bag of the pitcher's mound? He treated that like a grenade.
The resin bag.
Yeah, the resin. He treated the resin like a grenade. Like he bit out the pin and threw it, and then he walked out with the base.
Okay.
I'm just watching the replay.
Okay. Anyway, I know there's now
God.
rules of engagement, but there have been times I've seen players and managers get ejected for just looking at the umps the wrong way.
Yep.
You tell me the umps are not getting too trigger happy with this. Like if you disagree,
I would definitely say they're getting trigger happy.
They are getting more than trigger. And another thing, sorry to rant on the MLB, folks, after we just lavished heaps of praise among Tatis Jr., but let me just say this. How in the sweet, merciful shit do you have perhaps one of the most comprehensive instant replays in all sports and still manage to fuck it up royally?
Because you have prima donna athletes, and let's be honest, you have asshole fans that throw shit on the field after a bad call.
I mean,
Let's be honest.
how do you have an instant replay system that still sucks so bad? Who was in New York viewing these replays?
Apparently not the right people.
You know what? If some
it's probably Magoo. It's probably Mr. Magoo. Oh, speaking of throwing stuff on the field, Yankees fans are at it again.
They were the Yankees offense this year has just been absolute dog shit. I cannot think of a. Oh my god.
Besides the Tigers.
Well, I was about to say the Cubs, but it looks like the Cubs are still doing well enough.
I could offer my Tigers because God forbid.
I mean, we already dunk on the Tigers enough.
We are officially the worst team in the league.
Yeah, we dunk on the Tigers well enough. Let's.
No, I deserve to say something about the Tigers sucking. You know, it bums my soul that we're still this deep rebuild. We have a GM that hasn't done anything here in 7 years. If you think Alvio's been doing a good job, you could catch the next bus ticket out to Fort Wayne or Gary.
I was about to
honest.
And you've been on the next train to Gary, so you know what it's like. You know exactly what's over here too.
Detroit sports, it's like a depression. It's a crater. You just wonder which team is going to throw out the
It's repeatedly getting kicked in the dick.
The Tigers this year have just had, besides Akil Baddoo, it has just been nothing good. And last night's win against the White Sox, everyone thought we were going to get no hit.
Yo!
Everyone thought that was going to be the game.
Oh, speaking of no hits.
Why I mentioned this, the Colorado Rockies fired their GM after Colorado's incompetence over the offseason. They fired their long-term GM. And they're in the middle of trying to, I guess, in a way, rebuild this team. The Tigers, it just feels like we're spinning the wheels of mediocrity, and we just can't right the ship, no matter how much we try. It sucks. Wait, Chicago, you guys have a World Series. Yes, he was there 7 years, just like Al Avila. Al Avila needs to go right now. He needs to go. He needs to get on the next plane to Chicago. Let him sit with the Cubs, or let him sit with the White Sox, and let's see you talk about him.
I'm literally looking at the stats right now, and there's actually 3 teams worse than New York in terms of just runs. Detroit's worse. We have what the hell does that symbol mean? Oh, Washington. I don't fucking. And we have the Mets. Again, not surprised.
It blows my mind that they.
The funny thing about this is that the Mets have the best. They lead the National League, only playing 18 games though. They're 9-9 right now.
Jeez. Well, we still got, unfortunately, a long way to go for the season, and a lot more dick punches are on the way.
Oh yes, a lot more dick punching is coming up. Speaking of dick punching, Madison Bumgarner threw a no-hitter, but they're not counting it because it was
a second game of a doubleheader.
It was a 7-inning no-hitter
game. It blows, dude. It blows. You need to put asterisks next to it, and it needs to count.
I feel like of all the things to have an asterisk next to it, this is the one where where a lot of us could say this one counts. This one should count.
It blows my mind that they wouldn't.
Oh shit! Drop something.
It sucks, dude. You gotta feel so bad. Ooh.
What did you just find out? I'm horrified to know what you just find out.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are doubling down their stance that Bumgarner threw no hitter against the Braves where it counts, with the team's ticket prices. The team announced that tickets for Friday and Saturday's games against the Colorado Rockies are $14. The deal is to commemorate Bumgarner not allowing a hit in 7 innings in the second game of the doubleheader, as well as Zach Gallen allowing just 1 hit in 7 innings in the first game of that doubleheader. So they're literally trying to just troll the MLB right now. With like,
they are. Well, at least they're trying to back him up. At least they're.
Dude, I'm glad they're backing up their pitcher, dude, because it's just depressing to see this.
And the thing is, baseball is a sport where every stat is relevant.
Mm-hmm.
And you're basically hell, even the home run stat, which has an asterisk for a good reason, is still relevant. It's still in the books. This is one of those things where it's like, something amazing just happened, and because of your own stupid rule, you're not going to count it.
Let's be honest, the MLB is full of stupid rules.
And I say it's stupid right now because, to be honest, I did back the whole 7-inning doubleheader thing. If there was an equal amount throughout the season, I did back it. But this is one of those things like, count the damn no-hitter.
Right? Amen to that.
Because what if someone else throws a no-hitter? Are you not throws a no-hitter? Are you not going to count that?
According to MLB, they will not. Any more stories you want to rap about before we end the podcast tonight?
Actually, let me think. We have a lot. Well, besides the NFL draft, which we will probably live tweet about when it comes out. Oh yeah,
we'll talk about.
Oh yeah, I got 2 things. One, in the Pioneer League, they're replacing the rule for extra innings. They're not going to do the traditional rule. They're not going to do the runner on second base rule. They are going to turn extra innings into a home run derby.
Sounds like fun for the kids.
I have some questions about that. The biggest thing is, one, how is it going to be just a 1v1, or is you're going to get like 3 guys from each going off, and whoever hits the most wins?
I would say 3 guys. Okay. Or maybe you select 1 hitter.
And second,
the reason why they're able to do this, though, it is a independent league.
No direct connection with the MLB.
Yeah, because of COVID. So this is why they're able to experiment with this. I am intrigued. The teams are really small, and they play out of small towns out in the Rockies, like in Great Falls, Idaho. There was a couple teams. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I know we had the teams looked up yesterday because we were making fun of the names. Give me 1 second. Yes. Let's see. The Idaho Falls Chuckers play the Rocky Mountain Vibe, or the Great Falls Voyagers go up in state against the Missoula Paddleheads. There's actually a lot of teams in Montana. In fact, there are 3 teams in Montana, and that's more than all the other states have. 2 in Idaho, 2 in Colorado, or 3 in Colorado, and 1 in Utah.
It still does not top, perhaps, what I discovered playing the show to be the greatest name in minor league history to me. The Rocket City Trash Pandas.
Oh, God.
Oh! And I just found out today that they play in Alabama.
Oh, boy.
They were formerly the Mobile Bay Bears.
All right, but now they're the Trash Pandas.
The thing is, Rocket City Trash Pandas. How has Disney not sued them yet? How has Disney not sued them? Or is this like an Anaheim Ducks situation where it's like, all right, we got representation?
That is odd.
I'm literally expecting this name to change in like a year. I'm literally expecting this to change in a year.
Oh.
All right, I do have two other things. One we talked about yesterday, and the other that to me it's more news to me than it is to you. First off, let's do the more news to me. Kim Mulkey is going to LSU.
Hmm?
You have no idea who that
Confused.
is. You have no idea who that is, do you?
No.
You have no idea who Kim Mulkey is. All right.
No.
Kim Mulkey was the head coach of Baylor for the women's basketball team. And she was freaking amazing for them. 3-time champion, winning the Big 12 so many times. It's insane. It's almost like if there's a team that could possibly go toe to toe with UConn, this will be one of the teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then she leaves to go sign up for LSU. So she's leaving the Big 12 to go play in the SEC for women's basketball.
Ah.
I gotta
Okay.
say that's a tough choice to
So,
make, because it's like, imagine if, let's say, during the Brady era, it's like Belichick said, "I'm leaving this team and I'm gonna go coach the Seahawks," which was still a tough team which is a great team, but it's an even tougher division to get through.
it's tougher to swallow.
But I hope she succeeds. I really do. She I have every hope I have every hope in my body that she will get LSU to where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
What that is, I cannot fully say. I cannot fully say what LSU has in the future. But here's to perhaps maybe kicking ass and taking names.
One way or another.
Because you got a lot of work to do. You got South Carolina, you got Georgia, you got Texas A&M, you got Arkansas, you got Kentucky. Who else is good in that, dude? No, I think I just hit the major. I think I hit all the major teams.
Oh, pretty much hit all major teams there, friend. Oh, jeez.
All right, and the last thing to talk about before we end with the news of the draft: Turner Sports inked a 7-year deal with the NHL,
Oh,
and they will supposedly air 3 Stanley Cup Finals. You and I talked about
well,
this yesterday, and we have several questions.
is it going to switch up between ESPN's deal and their deal? Are you going to keep some formats the same regarding like Saturday night hockey nights? What does
My
this mean for the Canadian? My question, maybe, well, what happens to the Canadian teams?
ugh.
Specifically, like CBC's Saturday hockey night in Canada.
Yeah.
You don't want to fuck with the
All right,
Canadian
my
broadcast
my
rights.
my two things to me, and this is only because I saw this coming when I heard Turner Sports. I thought, one, are you gonna do cross promotion with inside the NBA? Because could you imagine Charles Barkley just sitting down talking about hockey?
I like that Ovechkin guy with the Washington
What would
Capitals.
what would be the NHL equivalent of San Antonio women for Charles Barkley? What would be the NHL equivalent? I can't think. I actually have to think.
I'm trying to think. You're giving me a brain. You're giving
Probably,
me
I want to say something with Maple Leafs, maybe, but no, that's just me.
yeah.
That's me, because that's just me talking about Maple Leafs. The second thing is another crossover thing. Well, not crossover, but more thinking about what days do the NHL mostly air their primetime games?
On the weekdays normally.
Yeah, but what days specifically is like the biggest day for them?
Wednesday. I know Wednesdays are really big from as
Yeah,
well as Friday nights.
yes, Wednesday. You know what else comes on Wednesday night on TNT? AEW Dynamite.
Um,
I wonder if there's going to be a clash between the two. Like, I can already see some cross promotion, especially since You could probably get some of the guys talking about hockey. You have Chris Jericho. His dad played in the NHL. You could definitely get him on this. You could definitely get him talking all the time.
Oh God.
But still, though, I think in terms of this deal, it's going to be more streaming than actual live TV.
Probably.
All right. So unless you have anything else to add, tomorrow night, hopefully, me and Butch will be tweeting out our reactions to not only the first 5 picks of the draft, but also to our respective picks, both the Bears and the Lions. Let's see who we got coming to our sad sack of a team.
Tomorrow is about to be a very long day.
Tomorrow's gonna be.
I'm excited for it.
I don't actually have to go into work tomorrow, so I will actually sit down, pour myself a drink, and watch the draft. And who knows? We might actually live stream the draft. You and me just live stream our reactions to these draft picks.
We are going to actually enjoy tomorrow, and hopefully neither our teams blow it or disappoint. This has been Cellar with your coffee. As always, stay safe.